G'day folks, Mad Aussie here, and welcome to the Aussie Report. In this episode, we're going to take a look at SAPOL, the South Australian Police, and some of the corruption they've been up to. This is just one article at the moment. There is a few more to look through that I'll get to in the future. But at the moment we have this article is from the South Australian Police website, southaustralianpolice.com. The article is titled SAPOL Officer Andrew Allen Jonay receives a suspended prison sentence for assaulting teenager. Now I do think that's how you pronounce his last name, Jonay. Sounds French to me, I'm not sure. This article is dated this article is dated March the 5th, 2022. And scrolling down, it goes on to say, former police officer Andrew Allen Jonay has received a suspended prison sentence for assaulting a teenage boy in Whyalla. Jonay, 43, of Morphettville, and another officer, Sean Hobbs, 34, of Torrensville, were charged with aggravated assault causing harm after accosting and attacking Matthew Odgers in 2013. So, being from 2013 and it's now 2022, that's a long time to be going through the court system and fighting this for poor old Mr. Odgers. This continues with the incident occurred in Whyalla when the slightly built Odgers was only 17 years old. Upon sighting Odgers, the officer performed a stop and search. Giving evidence, Odgers said he was under a court-enforced curfew and 2 minutes from home when he was stopped by the officers. He said the duo found a drug pipe belonging to his friend in his possession before he asked if he could go. The bald officer, Jonay, hit me and said, you can fucking leave when I tell you to leave, Odgers told the court. I was intimidated, in shock, didn't understand the situation, I was scared. The bald officer said, you think you're tough, and struck me with the back of his hand with enough force to knock me back and roll onto the ground. Hobbs allegedly joined Jonay in assault when he put his hands around my throat and was yelling at me, telling me to shut up. I could breathe, but I could barely talk. Odgers' counsel told the court the boy was lifted off the ground and slammed down, and Hobbs continued to squeeze and choke him, swearing at him and telling him to shut his mouth. Not content with physically assaulting a slightly built boy, the duo laid on the tough talk and brazenly boasted they would simply deny the assault. Now, if you want to tell your mum that we fucking belted you, guess what? Go right ahead. We will say we didn't do it, said Jonay. Your choice. You want to be a big man and play with the big boys? You can play. Just remember, I ain't going anywhere, pal. I'm an old man. I'll hunt you down. What an idiot. Jonay told his victim he was a very cheeky boy. After receiving a panicked call from her son, Miss Odgers rushed in her car to retrieve him. Upon arriving at the scene, she immediately noticed signs of assault, including marks on his face. Miss Odgers questioned the officer as to what happened and asked for their names. Audio recording of the incident, which we'll see below, we'll play that later, show her demeanour to be reasonable and non-aggressive, yet Jonay was quite rude and disrespectful in return. Both officers failed to state their names despite her repeated requests. If you believe that I'm assaulting people on the side of the road, that I would do that to a child in the street, you must have rocks in your head, the arrogant Jonay told Miss Odgers. Miss Odgers told the court she found this quite insulting and unprofessional. I said, looking at Matthew, yes, I do believe him because I could see he had marks on his face and was quite shaken up. So here we have a picture of Jonay here, the ex-cop. Continuing on, this says, Miss Odgers told the court that Jonay was aggressive, quite adrenaline pumped and quite erratic. After knocking her son to the ground, when I pulled up my car, he, Jonay, aggressively pushed a piece of paper through my window, saying there's no need to get out of the car, you just need to sign this, we just have to talk to Matthew, she said. He was quite adrenaline pumped, breathing heavily and quite erratic. Jonay is sentenced. As is par for the course with the hopelessly corrupt SAPOL, both officers flatly denied the assault. Unfortunately for them, Odgers was able to reach into his pocket and activate his phone, which captured the audio footage of the aftermath. The audio footage was dominated by Janae's voice, allowing Hobbs to be acquitted of the charge, but Janaa was convicted in November last year. So this is Hobbs here in this picture. Unlike Janaa, Sean Hobbs was acquitted and escaped punishment for the 2013 assault on Odgers. Appearing at the Elizabeth Magistrate Court last Tuesday, Janaa received a 3-month suspended jail term subject to a 1-year good behaviour bond. The very lenient sentence was attained after Janaa pulled a Norman Hoy, miraculously transforming from loudmouth tough guy in the street to poor victim in court. Janaa's lawyer submitted 2 psychologist reports to the court. Magistrate Ben Sale said the reports indicated Janaa was suffering from PTSD before the incident due to persistent traumatic events working as a police officer. The doctor says work-related stresses, including being attacked and beaten, confrontations with angry and violent offenders on your own, and a lack of support as you perceived it from South Australia Police, were and are causative of your symptoms, Sale said. Just how any of this justified the symptom of taunting and physically assaulting a skinny, non-threatening, unarmed teenager by himself was never explained. These doctors and the courts never appeared to have asked why, if Janae felt the need to lash out because of PTSD, he chose a skinny teenager who posed little threat to him, as opposed to, say, a muscular outlaw biker. Was PTSD truly a contributor to the assault, or did the assault occur because Janae, like so many of his colleagues, was a cowardly thug and power-tripping bully who viewed a 17-year-old boy as an easy target? Sale admitted that one of the alleged traumatic events experienced by Janae, not all occurred prior to the date of this event, leaving one to wonder how they could be submitted as exculpatory factors for the assault and for Janae's subsequent dishonesty. Sale said from his assessment from the doctor's reports, Janae should not have been an active police officer on the evening the offence occurred. Sale said it was not lost on him that without Mr. Odgers' phone recording, he may not have been satisfied of Janae's guilt. It is a fact that many assaults by police result in impunity for the offenders because the victims did not have access to video or audio recordings of the incidents. Had this been the case with Odgers, it is very likely Janae would have escaped punishment, and the magistrate even admitted as much. So this is the audio recording here from Odgers' pocket when he was able to turn it on with his phone. So yeah, let's take a listen to this and see what that's gonna sound like.
Okay, look, man, here's what we do. Because you got appointments to take drugs to bad. Look at me. 9:30 on Wednesday the 30th of October. Okay? Turn up. If you don't, I'll do a lot of time. If I have to do typing, I get very angry because I'm an old man and I'll come punch you down. Now, if you want to tell Mum Bear or your mate what you want, guess what? Go right ahead. And then you work out we're big liars. Because we'll say we didn't do it. Alright? Up to you. Your choice. You want to be a man and play with the big boys. Then it's your turn to go. Okay? Just remember, I ain't going anywhere, pal. Alright? Your choice. There you go. Congratulations.
Apparently somebody hit you.
Yeah, they did.
Who hit you?
I know that. If you believe that, you're crazy.
Well,
Did I not get knocked on the ground or what? I don't know. I think so. That's right.
well, I'd like your name, please.
Look at this one, mate. Nothing good. Hello. We're sitting on the ground.
Alright,
Believe don't stop people on the road.
Just asking a question.
Yeah, my name's on there. If you want to make a complaint, that's fine.
I'm
The process.
asking a question.
If you believe that I would do that to a child on the street, then you. Alright?
Well, I know it doesn't.
You are a very cheeky boy. Yeah, you should be under arrest. You've been swearing.
You're lying to my mum. Can you just be quiet, please? I'm talking. There's no need for that.
Carrying on, it's been told to shut his mouth What, 70? Okay, so you're not at that corner? Yeah. No. No, it's not. Well, I'm allowed to use reasons more than he used to do. And he should be under arrest. I just can't be bothered arresting a little boy tonight.
Well, I don't think the man needs to be hitting a little boy.
Well, I didn't hit him. He's not a little boy the way he's been acting. We've set enough tonight. We're going. Okay?
Okay.
You make the choice.
Radio, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a little hard to hear, even though by now I've likely boosted the audio a little bit for you guys too. So I hope you were able to hear that. Continuing on, this says, in my view, and having regard to the fact that this was an offence, is aggravated, was committed against someone under the age of 18 who suffered physical injury as well as psychological consequences, and the effort you made to discourage the victim from making a claim, the conclusion I have reached is that the offence is of such seriousness that the only justifiable penalty is imprisonment, Mr. Sale said. He said Janae's behaviour since the event and work as a police officer contributed to his decision to suspend the jail term. Given that Janae's behaviour included flatly denying an assault he had already admitted to on a damning audio recording, many people will find it hard to share the magistrate's sense of leniency, especially those who have received similar or harsher sentences for much lesser offences. Janae's fear of ending up in jail alongside people he and his comrades have taunted and arrested apparently caused him much anxiety. When asked how you might deal with the incarceration, both doctors gave dire predictions as to your ability to cope. Perhaps Janae should have thought of that before mouthing off like an unhinged goon and assaulting a skinny kid. And so finishing with a picture of Maria Odgers and the victim himself, Matthew Odgers, outside the Adelaide Magistrates Court. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and definitely leave a comment below as to what you think of South Australian Police and how the magistrate handled this particular situation. And yeah, surely I'll have some more police corruption stories coming out soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next episode.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.